Hello everyone, I am back in the Nautilus, and today I'm going to build the rest of the ship's galley, which I did not have time to build in the last episode. But before I do that, I want to point out a couple of changes that I made to the small room and the hallway that I built last time. JetBlast 190 suggested adding a couple of extra cylinders to extend the huge pipes from the Grand Salon's ceiling into the small room behind the organ. And so I did that, as you can see. And I thought that was a great idea, and it makes sense from an architectural standpoint, so I did that. Now, in order to make that happen, I had to move the path that these blocks are connected to over a couple of nudges, 1 block's width, into the Grand Salon. And I had to do that because the forward-backward offset only goes up as high as 50. And to put the last pipe on the end in the small room would have required setting it to 52, and I couldn't do that. So I moved the path, and then I adjusted the offsets on the blocks in order to slide them back into their original positions. And then I added 2 new pipes to the path for the small room. And the offsets for those, the pipe on the final pipe that we had before, the offset on that was 36, I believe. And so I had to set the new pipes to 44 and 48. And that put the pipes into the small room, like you see. Now, another change that JetBlast 190 suggested adding was some small decorations to this room back here. And in order to give it some character, and I wholeheartedly agree with that, I plan to do that, but I'm going to hold off on that until a future episode because there are some discrepancies in the movie regarding this little room, but I don't want to take the time to address those right now. Another change that I made was to lower these rail slide pipes down. They were up at the ceiling level, and that kind of made them really hard to see up there. So I moved them down a little bit lower where they're more visible, and it fills in that wall, adds a little bit of detail there that it really needed. And this is pretty easy to do. I just moved the building pieces out of the way, and then I dropped the rail slide down 1 nudge, and then I adjusted each block's path properties slightly to snap them back onto the path like I showed in an earlier episode. And I think it looks a lot better this way. I like this better than having them way up at ceiling level. This makes a lot more sense because this is actually at a level where a character could actually get to that little nozzle, that little wheel. So that's good. Now, another change I'm going to make involves this corner. There's actually 2 changes I want to make here. This is at the end of the hallway. If you look at this screenshot, there's a corner on the right with a vertical pipe and a wheel. And so I want to push these walls here back in order to account for that. And so to do that, we're going to slide this back to create a little corner there. And I'm going to do that for the pipe, or for the wall on either side. So we're going to push it back 2 nudges, 1 block. And I think I will use a wedge like this. To create kind of our little opening there. And I think I like that better. And we'll go ahead and put another one of these over and extend this hallway over just a little bit. And by making this room a little bit bigger than perhaps it was in the movie, not only does it look better architecturally, little bit closer to what we had in the movie, but it's going to make it easier for the camera to move around in this confined space as well. So I like that. I think that's going to be good. And just so we have symmetrical opening here, go ahead and I think we'll put this like so. And then by the time we add the rail slides in here and everything, this is going to look better. And then the last change I want to make is I want to put a short little block on the path to cover up the end of the Death Star walkway here, because that just doesn't match the movie there at all on the end of that. So we're going to come over here, and it'll probably be easier to pick this up and put it back. And this is the piece that I'm interested in using. We want to line this up, I think like so. I think that's going to be best. I don't think we want to try to put this on here like that, although we might have to. And I'm actually looking at that. Yeah, we're going to see the edge of the Death Star walkway on that. That could be a problem. So yeah, I think we're going to have to put this on here like that. We're going to need one on either side. Alright, so we'll attach this to the path. And anchor the camera. Alright, toy box path. Horizontal goes that way. We'll start at 2. We'll come back to that offset there. And that's going the other way, so we want to bring this forward like that. Okay. And then bring this over and drop it down like that. And I think that looks a little bit better. So that's a good change. Because the lights on the end of the Death Star walkway just don't match the movie at all. And we don't want to have something there that doesn't look right. I want it to look like it belongs. Alright, so drop that down. I think we're going the wrong way. That's not going where I thought it was going to go. There it is. Okay. Alright, so there we are. That looks good. Okay. I like that. Alright, so with these changes out of the way, let's work on the rest of the galley. And once again, here's a screenshot from the movie. The ladder in this hallway leads up to a hatch behind the dorsal fin of the ship, which you can see in the middle of this screenshot, which we also saw last time. And here's another look at the ladder, and we can also see another opening in the floor below, which leads down to the next deck. The hatchway beyond the ladder leads into the galley, which you can see in this shot. There's a workbench on the left, a table with some food on it in the foreground, and another work surface on the right. Along the wall in the back are some shelves containing various pots and pans. There's also a pipe that runs along the ceiling, and even though we can't really see it here, there is a door behind the workstation on the right that leads into another room that's off to the right of the screen. And we do not get a good look at that room in the movie, but I suspect it would be the ship's pantry. So this is what I want to try to build. Now, because we don't have anything like those ladders, we're going to do the same thing here that we did in the chart room, and that is to use the pipes from Building Sets Group 2. So we're going to put one pipe here and another pipe down here. And I think I will address the height of this pipe in a future episode, but and build the little hatch where this goes up. But essentially, the top of this has to go up to the deck level that's up here. That's how high that has to go, and we'll create a little opening and everything in there once we're done with this room. Now, to make room for some interior decorations that we might want to put down, I'm going to slide these walls back, because I am going to bring the interior toys out a little bit later. I want to add some decorations on these walls because it's kind of bland right now. And as far as the galley goes, we're going to be putting in the walls around that. And I don't want to make this room too small. I think if we make it this size and we run some walls along there, that's about right for the dimensions of the room in the movie. I'm just worried this might be a little too small for the camera when you get in there, kind of like this room was back here. But I don't want to make this too big, so I'm kind of deciding here as I'm talking to you how big I want to make this room. Either way, I suppose, I'm either going to continue these walls back here at this level, or I'm going to put them at this point. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, we're going to need walls here, so I'll put those out like that. And as far as the width of this room, I don't think we want to make it any wider than 3 blocks. So I think the back wall of the room is going to have to be about here. And then we're going to have a doorway that leads into the room in the back. So we're going to have a wall in here like this. Let me just put this in to frame it in. And probably something like this. This one for sure, I'm going to put this at this level. And it's not going to be a big room. So maybe a 3 by 3. So 1, 2, 3. Back wall will be here at this level. So we'll slide that back. So the wall will actually sit at this point back here. But we're going to pull that back again for some decorations. Okay. And we'll have that up there like that. Now I don't think we're going to have any kind of shelves or anything along here, but I suppose we might. So I'm going to go ahead and push these back just a little bit to get it out of the way. And we'll remember this is right there on that seam. To help us remember, I'll just slide these out of the way. Okay. So at this point, I think we have kind of the dimensions of the room mostly figured out here. So I'm going to go ahead and save my toy box. Let's see, we're over here. I'll save the toy box, and then I'll go through that door and bring the interior toys out one more time. And then we'll populate the galley. And I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, once again, we brought the interior toys out. So let's go see what we can do with them. And we come out here to the galley. And I think, judging from the scale of the decorations, excuse me, I think we will keep this room 3 by 3. So we're going to place these. Let's see, do we want to put them at this level? No. We'll put them up at this level. I can't put them next to each other, unfortunately. So there's not much we can do about that. And I'm not sure you'd want to put more than one of these along here anyway, but we'll do that. And then we have some work surfaces here. And none of these really match. I mean, these are really small. And so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put some work surfaces in here like we did in the chart room. I think that's going to be our best bet. Now, we didn't see the opposite side of the wall over here, but we're going to go ahead and put some of these down over here too. Like that. Okay, so we will add a work surface here. We'll add a work surface over here. We had a table with some food on it. So let's see what we got here to work with. So we have some different things we can do. We could actually put a couple of different tables here if we wanted. We have this one. We have the ghost with the fruit table. That's kind of interesting. I suppose we could put one back here, perhaps. Although if we're going to put that table over here, the scale of this might not look right. So I think I'll put one of those down. Excuse me. And these don't really look proper for a kitchen. Not what you would see in the kitchen. Those are dining room types of things. Okay, so I think that's it for tables and cabinets. Under accent and decor, if we scroll over past the plants, we have some things we could use here. And I don't remember exactly where these are in here, but here we go. We do have a fruit crate. That could go in the room back here, in the little storage area. Not crazy about the Imperial logo on the side, but could put a couple of those in there. There's some other things in here, so I don't want to fill it up with those. We have this shawarma table. And I kind of like the look of that. I mean, it looks like something you might find, something that would be underwater perhaps. You also have the Jogan fruit barrel. These aren't things you would think you would find on planet Earth, but they could work for something that you see that they would find under the ocean. So I'm thinking these could work good back here in the little storeroom. This looks like something this would be prepared, so I think this would be in the kitchen here. So we're going to make sure it's at that position. What else? We got Jabba's roasting pit. That looks like something perhaps you'd find in here. It's not something I remember seeing from the screenshot, but it adds some decoration and gives the idea of this being the kitchen. So I think we'll go ahead and use that. Again, just want to try to convey the idea that this is the galley, the kitchen. And don't know what that is that's roasting over it, but it could potentially be something you find under the sea. So that might be nice. This drink dispenser kind of has a weird look to it. Like almost a steampunk look with those pipes coming out the end there. So we're going to add that little decoration there as well. I'd really love to have a sink or something here, but I just don't see how we're going to make that happen. Ceramic unicorn stand. We have the queen's pedestal with some fruit. That's a basket, though, with some fruit. That could work. But you're going to start running into stuff here if we do that. I am looking for just some additional little things. Dog bowl. Yeah, I think I might just put a couple more of these crates back here, just to have something in this area. And I like that fruit. I think we'll put maybe another one of those in there. Where did I see that? Oh, that was over here. So like that. All right, that'll be enough to give the idea for that room. Okay, I want to take one last look at the sinks and things here. I know they're just not the right scale, but I would really like to have, if possible. Now see, this could look pretty good up here along the wall. I think we'll do that just for something that looks a little bit different. It says it's a floor cabinet, but I think that could work hanging on the wall as well. Corner cabinet. Now see that? I actually like the look of that. That's not bad. Just trying to decide if I like that or not. The rest of these aren't really going to work too well. This sticks out too far. That's going to stick out too far. It's a shame that when we bring the toys out, we can't get these things to line up. This is the only one that would line up. I'd have to drop that floor down, but I mean, that could sit there like a little cabinet along the wall. Looks a little too futuristic, though, for my taste. So I think we're just going to leave that. Okay, so this is going to be our galley. Alright, so with that in mind then, let's go ahead and pick these blocks up. That gets us out of the interior toys and into the interior toys. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. Alright, this is going to have to move over here. And this is going to slide up like that. That's going to slide up like that. Bring our walls in. We need a wall here for the hatch that goes into the storage room. Yeah, so we're going to need one more block along here just to plug the gap for when we slide this forward. Okay, delete that, and there we go. Oh, I forgot the I forgot the decorations I wanted to put along here. Yeah, we'll do that in a future episode. I was thinking of the Star-Lord wall canister and things like that. But I'll be bringing those interior toys out again in another episode. For now, I'm going to slide these walls back into place. Alright, how are we doing on time? We got enough time. Let's work on the ceiling for this room, as well as the pipe that's going to run up through the hatch to the surface. Right, so that's going to take care of that. And eventually we're going to place a ceiling in here. And along all of these rooms back here. And we could actually do these two right now because we're done with those. So let's put those on. I'm going to leave this off though, just because I still have those decorations I want to do there. But this is going to get us up to surface level up here. And eventually this is going to run all the way down close to there. But there we go. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we have our hallway over here, which is where Conseil goes. We have the pipe climb that leads up through the hatch to the top side of the ship. We have another hatch that's going to go down to the next level. Through here we have the ship's galley, and this looks like a galley. That's really good. And kind of a little storeroom back here. And I like that a lot. And with that, the galley is done. Next time, I'm going to build the ship's diving chamber and outfitting room, where the crew puts on their diving gear and exits the ship through an underwater hatchway to explore the ocean floor. Before you go, please hit the like button if you're enjoying this build, and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my build for the Nautilus so far particularly the Galley. I'd love to hear from you. That's all for me today. Take care.